Well, hi there, Jonathan here, and yeah, we're back with you again, a little bit more organized today. So, what we're going to be talking about is back-end automations, which obviously has come in really handy. The whole idea of actually automations. If you saw yesterday's video, it was really the fact that actually it was my automations that allowed me to really keep the whole funnel working and generating a profit without really doing anything at all. So, but just before I dive into those, it's a quick update on the numbers, and yeah, we're on a little bit of a lower run here. Hopefully looking for some recovery fairly soon. But anyway, let's have a look. So it was 639 in revenue yesterday, and as usual, our ad spend fairly stable. Was at 333 there in dollar amount, $447, which gave us actually a profit on the day of $192. So nothing to get too excited about, but hey, at the moment, happy that it's still generating a profit while we go about sorting out other aspects of the funnel and then trying to increase our profitability. And today, actually, it's only at 167. We're at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah, it's a bit of a fingers crossed day, I think, in terms of where we might end up. Okay, but let's talk about the funnels and back-end automation. So a couple of days ago, I did this whole sort of bit of a breakdown as to where the revenue comes from across the whole funnel on my numbers, and obviously as I identified that back-end offers is something that I really wanted to do a little bit more on, and particularly to automate some of it. So it means that I can slowly increase this lifetime customer value, because that will really start to make a difference into the overall profitability over time, particularly when I'm looking at a 60 or even 90-day window on things. So that's the area of focus. But just to try and get an understanding of that, what I want to do is, here's a simple view. Whether it looks simple or not is another matter, but a simple view of actually what's going on. Now, one of the big mistakes that I made probably about a year or so ago is I'd got loads of funnels. I must have had at least 8 different funnels going, and hopefully what you've seen from really with me over the last 37 days. Actually, I've said here it's day 37. It's actually day 38, isn't it? Anyway, that aside. Yeah, so what you've seen really is the fact that even when I'm looking at one single product, this guitar riffs thing, as a starting point, that top of funnel, when you start to split it down and break it down into, free traffic, paid traffic, and whether you've got upsell sequences, downsell sequences, abandoned cart sequences, it can get really complicated very quickly. So I say the biggest mistake I made looking back was having too many funnels, and the whole idea is the simpler you can make it, the more you can focus on actually optimizing it and making it work really well. And that's really made the difference for me really over the last year and a bit now. So in essence, what I've got in terms of funnels and buckets of leads, as it were, overall I've got traffic, and some, as we know, some's organic, some's paid. And in my organic traffic side, let's look at this. My organic traffic side, I'm focused on gathering leads in there. It's something that happens in the background. But what happens is when people become a lead, they get an automated 7-day email sequence that obviously delivers the tab book, then shows them 1 or 2 of the riffs, I think 3 different riffs out of the whole collection, and then makes them an offer to buy the course, which they do or don't do. Then our next real bucket of people are people who come straight from the ads, straight in the landing page, and they buy. Now, then they go into actually a 14-day automated email sequence, which is really designed to make sure they actually use what they've just paid for. Because at the end of the day, you know, building a relationship in the longer term, it's all about trying to get your audience to consume what they've just paid for. Because obviously, if they get a good experience, really get value from what you've learnt, they've learnt from you, then they're far more likely to buy things in the future. So I pay quite a bit of attention to that to try and make sure that people actually are using the course. And obviously at the tail end of that sequence, I make them an offer to access more courses, again, which some people do or don't. And then finally, we've got a bucket of people who we knew who were interested, started that purchase process, but then bailed out. And I've been through this in detail with you, is the fact that they go then into an automated 7-day sequence, which tries to represent the offer to them, talks about the benefits side of things, and actually ultimately on the last day of that makes them a further discount that's only available for a single day at the end of that sequence. So that's where the groups of people, but really then at the end of the day, that's all about that front end product. The back end product, which I've talked about, is my Guitar Coach Academy, which is the access to all the other courses. And that's the one I say, again, a bit of a tricky one in terms of me trying to get a real strong congruence from there. But while I'm figuring that out, what I want to do is to then put all those different groups of people into one actual campaign that's basically looking to sell one particular product. And so we're funneling everybody down. And what I would do is then create a simple automation that pulls everybody together. If they haven't already bought into the Academy, then they get sent a campaign every week that introduces them to one of the courses in the whole bundle, and makes them offer to either buy that course or buy the whole access to everything. So I just wanted to show you how that looks really in terms of a simple workflow. So this is in my system account here, and so we've got 3 different triggers representing those 3 groups of people. We've got either people who were added to cart, so they're the people who started the process. Then there's the people who actually bought, and then there's the people who came in via the free tab side. And then the whole idea is that once any of those tags are triggered, there's a waiting period while these other email campaigns are running through, and then we check to see have they actually purchased into the Academy. Then if they haven't, then they get subscribed to my single Spotlights campaign, which, as I say, is all about presenting different courses within the overall Academy. So, and that means that's a very, very simple sort of workflow, but then I can just continue to build out this campaign with different offers. So you can see this is the very first one, and it'll be 3 emails that go out over a 3-day period that introduce that first course in there, whatever that is. And then what I'll do is the next email, I'll stack it up here, and it'll be for the following week introducing the second one. And then so I can just build out this workflow, maybe over a 5 or 6 week period. Probably about a 6-week period would be good. Maybe 3 emails a week over a 6-week period. And then I've got this full automation built out, which means that really I can then go, okay, from people entering the funnel at the top to really having experienced either the riffs or offered any of the other, or maybe the top 6 products out of the entire Academy. That will have gone over a period of probably 8-9 weeks. So it'll be in that sort of 2 to 3 month window, which is then really that whole trying to get that lifetime customer value in that 60 to 90 day window. So that's the idea, is that once that automation is built out, then I can really not worry about that, because that will just happen automatically. People will come into the campaigns, they'll get the offers, and obviously if at any stage they buy into the academy, then they automatically get unsubscribed from this campaign, so they don't see it again. So by creating that, I've created then an entire sort of time automated sequence that runs from the beginning to, let's say, 6-7 weeks out, and then that just runs in the background. And so then I can go on and look about back to either other parts of the funnel, but I know, and hopefully what I've done is actually increased this percentage here to make that a bigger percentage. So that's something that will be coming back to probably maybe in about sort of 3-4 weeks time, once we've got some more data. But that's certainly something that's in place now for October, or starting to get in place for October. I'll look to try and probably build the whole thing out during this month, so then after that it'll just continue to run. Okay, so that's all for that one. I hope you found that interesting. If you've got any questions, let me know, and look forward to speaking to you again tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.